Hi, good afternoon, everybody. I'd like to thank the organizers for the opportunity to speak to you today, and I'd like to thank all of you for spending some time with us to learn about McKesson and its cell and gene offering. Very busy first day of the MESA meeting. A lot of exciting information presented, and I will walk you through our work here at McKesson regarding cell and gene. McKesson is a diversified healthcare company, and today my presentation will focus on the cell and gene vertical and the offerings we provide to the value chain for our biopharma manufacturer customers, as well as providers and payers alike. McKesson is a publicly traded company, so obviously we have a safe harbor statement that if you need more information you can find on our website. But I'll be talking about our cell and gene component of McKesson. So when you think about the cell and gene marketplace and the value chain, it's fraught with complexity and challenges that face products being delivered to market. McKesson is well positioned to help those products come to market with our people, our capabilities, and our experience. Obviously, we're well positioned with both professional and clinical staff, as well as a very strong footprint of facilities across the United States. And our cold storage, distribution, and warehousing facilities is quite robust, coming off of the pressure testing that we just did with the COVID vaccines. We're well positioned to meet the needs of the cell and gene therapy products as they come to market with our facility in Claremont, Kentucky, which is brand new, as well as our Memphis, Tennessee facility. Our capabilities as we think about cell and gene therapy and the value chain and providing those solutions and services are really focused on an integrated model. The ability as a large distributor to provide an integrated model is unique for McKesson because of our ability to leverage our third-party logistics organization, our specialty distribution business, our specialty pharmacy, and our high-touch cell and gene-specific hub services. When we think about cell and gene therapy in the United States and the delivery of those products, typically in the major hospitals within the United States, McKesson is uniquely positioned, being able to have relationships with 95% of those hospitals across the United States. So we're a known entity. We're a comfort level for them as they think about the challenges they face in delivering products like this. They rest assured that the supplier, how they're approaching the product is well known because of the McKesson brand. We have experience in cell and gene therapy dating back to 2010 when we engaged early on with dendritic cells in Provenge. And we currently provide the distribution and logistics support for 4 therapies, 2 in the market and 2 coming to the market. And we're proud to have processed thousands of customer orders in hundreds of sites in the United States. And we continue to support those patients so that they can get these life-changing products. Our approach to the cell and gene value chain is based off of a focused approach based on what's needed by the individual products. It's not something that is generic or cookie cutter in any way. As you all know, this is a simplified version of the patient journey for cell therapy, but our approach is one that we take a look at the patient journey, the product journey, the reimbursement journey, and then we also examine the data flows that go in and out of these unique journeys to make sure that what we're providing for the products is appropriate for the needs of that product and for the sites of care that have to deliver the product. The key pinch points, the key areas of complexity that we're seeing in the market currently is time and temperature sensitivity is always a challenge. There's multiple varieties, whether that's frozen, ultra-frozen, cryogenic, and how long product needs to be out, if it needs to be thawed, all a variety of challenges for the sites of care. Obviously, many of the cell and gene therapies have different supply chain journeys. Some are closed loop, some are open loop, but they are not linear in any way for the most part. So having the ability to help the sites of care navigate that as well as the products is something we're well accustomed to doing. And, as we look at the products that we serve right now, the cell and gene space is a smaller population. But just at this meeting alone, you heard many times about the excitement around the autoimmune space and the evolution of cell and gene therapy in that space that will allow for many, many more patients. And as the autologous products continue to move up in lines of therapy from late line therapy to more early line therapy, the total available patient population will grow. So high volume and scale is going to be really important in this space. And having an organization that understands how to deliver that is really important for those products. And then obviously chain of identity, chain of custody, and end-to-end transparency of systems for how we track and trace those products are critical for not only the patients, but the sites of care and the manufacturers that make these products. There are pain points throughout the process of the delivery and the value chain, and we look at this uniquely through the eyes of a variety of stakeholders. Our stakeholders are biopharma, providers, patients, and payers. And through extensive market research, what we've been able to find is that, there are unique pain points within each of these verticals, and there are commonalities. And the clinical to commercial phase that cell and gene is causing some challenges for the biopharmaceutical companies. How do they push through those last clinical trials to commercialization around appropriate patient selection and moving towards commercialization? And then access to raw materials and reliable manufacturing is improving, but still a challenge for some. Also, when we think about the highly orchestrated nature of the supply chain has been a challenge. This isn't like biologics or small molecules, and it's something that has to have its own playbook and its own approach to. And then the long-term follow-up, once commercialized, the requirements for long-term follow-up that the biopharmaceutical companies are continuing to look at and how to best manage. From a provider standpoint, the providers are looking for standardization. It's really challenging. When you have 3 or 4 products on the market, you can have a variety of different processes. But when there are as many products that are on the market now, as well as the anticipated 10 to 20 approvals every year from now through 2030, standardization or democratization of a process to deliver these is really important, as well as the capital intensiveness and the space needed is a bit different than what they're used to in these providers. And we've queried a lot of them, and that becomes a challenge of understanding the clinical needs and the commercial needs as it comes to infrastructure and capital. From a patient standpoint, we've heard multiple stories over the day today, just alone about the criticality of patient programs and understanding case management, how to provide those patients the resources they need to travel to regional centers and to make sure the appropriate approvals for reimbursement are in place, and as well as the ability to be referred to the appropriate sites. And there's a lot of ways that patients can fall off of the process before they achieve the ability to get these products, and that's a challenge as well. On the payer side, it's about value and making sure that that value is shown through the unique payment mechanisms and different opportunities around outcomes administration. When I think about the approach here at McKesson, we have clearly a channel strategy solution where we look at our core distribution assets and we provide that as a resource. We also have patient access services that we provide to ensure that the patient navigates the system. On the advanced therapy solutions that we offer outside of our core, we have clinical and commercial development resources available for our manufacturers as they navigate the clinical phases of development and in the early commercial phases. Our provider enablement solutions really focuses on the sites of care and how do we optimize their ability to deliver these products in an efficient manner. And our outcomes and reimbursement really focuses on the next frontier of how we make sure that there's value with each of these products, the appropriate value, and the outcomes are tracked appropriately. When we look at the pure raw resources that are available through our core commercialization services, as well as our advanced therapy solutions, it's clear that the left side of this slide are core distribution and logistics products, like the McKesson third-party logistics organization that does everything from traditional 3PL model to title model to flash title, supporting the revenue recognition, electronic data capture for our manufacturer partners in the reporting of sales, as well as the tracking of when the patient is being ordered the product and how that process proceeds. Secondary is the McKesson's plasma and biologics distribution. This alternative allows the manufacturer and alternative to have our specialty distribution, set forward the cell and gene therapy, and then our biologic specialty pharmacy, which is really focused on high-touch, rare oncology and cell and gene therapies. This biologics specialty pharmacy is also the site of our high-touch cell and gene therapy hub, which will allow for patient assistance programs to be used as the patients navigate through the process of getting the product. Everything from benefit verification, prior authorizations, all the way through to travel resources that are provided and foundation support. We also have Cover My Meds that has a broad array of services and capabilities that small and large companies alike may take advantage of outside of our hub work that's done at Biologics. On the advanced therapy solutions, this is more of the clinically focused products that McKesson has and offerings. In the Genospace and Sarah Cannon, who you heard about today from the opening session where Jimmy, the sickle cell patient that was profiled, received treatment, are all part of the McKesson family. And Sarah Cannon is a joint venture with us and Sarah Cannon to engage in clinical trials in cell and gene, and they engage in quite a bit of cell and gene clinical trial work. And Genospace is a precision medicine research technology platform that has everything from trial optimizers to clinical trial matching to study feasibility work for our clinically faced biopharmaceutical companies. And Ontada is our data company that has an extensive data set. We also have an EMR that we're able to track outcomes and administration of the products. So as we look at real world evidence and quality outcomes, we'll really be able to provide that to both the biopharmaceutical manufacturer as well as the payers. So as you look at this slide, it really encapsulates our offerings both on the core side of our business and the services we provide on distribution and logistics, and on the other side, our advanced therapy solutions that are more clinically based, provider-based, as well as reimbursement and outcomes-based. When you think of McKesson and our cell and gene vertical, we'd like you to think about us as an end-to-end solution from your clinical trial needs all the way through to reimbursement and outcomes. So we appreciate your time today. It's been an absolute pleasure to spend 15 minutes with you, and I wish you all a great rest of your meeting.